Hey, this is Nick with Android Fan Network, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Spigen Neo Hybrid for the Galaxy S4. So this is a dual layer case. It's made out of an inner TPU layer and a hardshell band on the outside. So before we take a look at the case, let's see what else Spigen included in the packaging. Alright, so right off the bat I see the warranty card there, or the serial number card. And that will be useful if you ever have to send it in for warranty replacement, or if you want to check if your case is genuine. Just go to our original.spigen.com and you can check its authenticity right there. And then we also have an advertising booklet, and we should have some Jelly Bean buttons as well, probably stuck to this manual or this advertisement book. Yes, there we go. So these Jelly Bean buttons are just stickers that go over your home button, change up the style a bit. Alright, with the extras out of the way, let's take a look at the case itself. Alright, so like I mentioned before, it's a dual layer TPU and then a polycarbonate outer band. Let's pop that apart. Now one thing I see right off the bat that I like is that they didn't cover the power button and the volume rocker with TPU. They left that open so you won't lose any of the feeling from the buttons. Let's stick the phone in the TPU layer first, and then we'll move on to the band. Alright, so that fits well. It's not loose or anything like that. Let's set that aside and take a look at the band. So it's a pretty rigid band. Of course, when it's plastic this thin, it's going to bend a little. It's going to be a little flexible. But overall, it's a hard shell band, overall relatively sturdy. And then you notice that they have chrome coverings over the buttons, and those are basically just button extenders, so they shouldn't affect the clickiness of the buttons. Let's stick it all together and then take a look at the lip and all of the other stuff. Just pop that around. It fits on tightly so it won't come apart in your pocket or in your bag. Let's see if I can actually get it together. There we go. Alright, so it snaps on nice and tight. Let's take a look at the lip there for a second. Alright, so similar to the Ultra Armor case we just reviewed, or the Slim Armor case, the Spigen Slim Armor, the lip on this case is pretty low. It's definitely a lay on the table design. You can lay it on the table, slide it around, and you don't have to worry about scratching your screen. But if you drop it on anything other than a flat surface, say you drop it on a gravel surface face down, you do have to worry about cracking the screen there, because the lip is just pretty low. Now that's not a design flaw by any means. It's meant to keep the phone really slim, but that is something to consider when you're looking at this case. Alright, let's take a look at the back there. So we have two separate cutouts, one for the camera, one for the flash, and both of those are aligned well. And then we have the 13 mega word down there for the 13 megapixel camera. And then we also have a cutout for the speaker grill, and that's centered perfectly as well. And then we also have the branding down there and the logo, and that looks great as well. It's not really huge lettering, or it doesn't jump out at you. It's subtle branding, which I really like. All right, let's take a look at the bottom now. So on the bottom we have a mic cutout that looks aligned perfectly, looks like it's aligned perfectly. And then we have the micro USB cutout, which looks good as well. It's not the widest cutout I've seen, but it should easily fit the stock micro USB cable that comes with the Galaxy S4. Moving on to the right side, the power button side, we have the Neo Hybrid branding, which looks good as well. And then we have the power button, which again is covered by a another chrome button, and you don't really lose any of the clickiness since this is basically just a button extender. It feels similar to the button that's on the bumper case for the Nexus 4. The power button remains really clicky, and it feels great. On the top, we have a cutout for the IR blaster on the left there. And then on the right, we have a cutout for the secondary mic and the headphone jack. This case isn't too thick, so you shouldn't have a problem getting different pairs of headphones plugged in there. If you have an L-shaped plug, it shouldn't be much of a problem. Moving on to the volume rocker side, it's just like the power button side. It has a chrome button covering the real power button, and you don't lose any of the clickiness because it's just a button extender. So great case all the way around. I know with the last Spigen case we reviewed, the Ultra Armor, the Slim Armor case, some people were complaining that the TPU inner layer made the buttons hard to press. But since this case has only chrome button extenders basically over it, or chrome buttons over the real buttons, you shouldn't have a problem with clickiness at all. Alright, so now that we've looked at the exterior of the case, let's talk about the build quality and the materials. The TPU case feels very premium. It feels like a really high quality TPU case. And then the outer band feels like your typical polycarbonate band. Not cheap by any means. Spigen makes really high quality cases. In this case, I believe it's $30 at Spigen.com. And it's an excellent high quality slim case. If you're looking for a really slim bumper style case that also protects the back, definitely take a look at this case. If you don't want a TPU case, but you want more of a bumper type case, yeah, definitely take a look at this case. $30 on Spigen.com, and you can also pick up a screen protector for it. They have a special deal going on right now. You can get it for, I believe, 50% off, so $7 for a screen protector, along with this case for $30. So for $37, you get an excellent case and a good screen protector. Now, like I mentioned before, this won't really protect your phone if you drop it on a gravelly surface face down. But if you drop it on a flat surface or you hit any of the other sides, it's a very well protected case. Since it has this polycarbonate band around the outside, if you drop this on a hard surface, it won't crack the screen or anything like that. If you've watched some of the drop tests for the Galaxy S4, if you drop it on a corner on a hard surface, you will crack the screen. So this case should protect you against that in most cases, since it is a TPU layer and a hard shell layer. So this is an interesting case overall. It's really slim, similar to a bumper, but then it offers a little bit more protection because it has those two-layer design. So it's definitely a cool case to check out, again, at Spigen.com or Amazon. I'm not sure if they have the screen protector deal on Amazon, but it is on the Spigen website, Spigen.com. And we will probably be giving this case away soon at AndroidFanNetwork.com. And if you want to stay up to date on our giveaways and reviews and all that, just like us on Facebook, and our page is Android Fan Network. We also have a page on Google+, same title obviously, Android Fan Network. And you can follow us on Twitter at TeamAFN. And this is Nick with Android Fan Network. If you enjoyed the review, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more reviews for the Galaxy S4, don't forget to subscribe.